Hello, my Capricorn friends. This is Kristen Redman, Astrological Intuitive, and today we are going to talk about the astrological influences that are going to be making up your year of 2019. Now, Capricorn, what a big year this has been, because you have had your ruling planet Saturn move back into your home sign of Capricorn, and it takes 30 years for your ruling planet of Saturn to go all the way around that wheel through all the signs and then back home. So it was a long-awaited homecoming that happened at the beginning of 2018 to have that planet coming back. Now, you as a Capricorn, you embody those energies of Saturn. Saturn is the planet of structure. It is the one that lays the foundations. It's the one that sets the rules, that has the order, the teacher of the zodiac. That is what Saturn is. Now, having your home planet coming back home to you indicates that this is a time when the foundations are going to be strengthened for you in ways that they haven't since 1988. It's wonderful. You may not feel it at first. This is going to be the year where you start to feel that grounding energy of your planet returning home. Now, where that is at is what is known as the first house in the general overall Capricorn astrology wheel. So this is going to be a year, and into 2020, as that planet is still in your sign, that is going to be a time frame where you really see there may be increased responsibilities, yes, because Saturn going over the ascendant of anyone's chart is going to indicate that there's going to be more responsibilities, more that they have to take on, more that they have to do themselves, because the first house is all about you. It's all about yourself. So as Saturn goes over that, you're going to be feeling a little bit more weight, I suppose, on your shoulders, but ultimately there's going to be so much more that you take charge of and get in order for yourself. If you are a Capricorn that feel like things have been chaotic and you haven't been able to control things, you haven't been able to put those plans in order, you haven't been able to have those structures that you need, this is a time frame that Saturn is going to bring it back. And you'll see that especially take effect into 2020. But anyway, other things that are happening this year are beyond just Saturn strengthening things and making that foundation strong again. There are other things that are happening as well. One of the first things, let's start with money, your money for this year. Now, a wonderful period for you is going to be when the sun moves through Aquarius, which is in your second house of finances. Yeah, for that 4 weeks. So that's going to be January 20th through February 19th. This is going to be a great time where the sun literally shines a light on your financial situation and tries to bring in some opportunities to increase that. March 21st especially is a very prosperous day. That's a super good day out there for maybe an unexpected gift, unexpected windfall, unexpected raise, something to hit, because Uranus, the planet of unexpected things, hits that house as well. So that's a good thing. Keep an eye out for that on March 21st. Now, in terms of home and family, let's move to that bucket next here. For home and family, for our Capricorn friends out there this year, you may be feeling a push to move, okay? Because Mars, the planet that really pushes us and it fires us up and it gets us ready to rock and roll and go in new directions, is moving through your house of home and family, and it hasn't been there for 2 years. So there is this major urge to get out of Dodge, right? Move houses, move places, light a fire under your family, get those changes that were initiated, all right, at the beginning of 2017. You're ready to either finalize them or make it finally happen, because that's what Mars does. It lights the fire under us and it gets us rocking and rolling. So you're going to be noticing right out the gate in this new year, January 1st through February 14th, that there is going to be this major push and impatience almost to move. Now, if it is something where you have to move immediately, you may have to do some sort of temporary solution up until Valentine's Day there to get you through. Okay, so that might be moving in with grandma, moving back into mom and dad's basement, something. Okay, if it pushes you that way, that's the route you're going to have to take. But ultimately, remember, this is a year where Saturn, your ruling planet, is stabilizing things for you. So ultimately, some good things are going to come through. There just may be some temporary, uncomfortable situations you have to deal with in the interim time. But let's move on to the next part here, and that is relationships. Love, marriage, and relationships. You know what's amazing is that we have these eclipse cycles in astrology, and those are the major trigger points for the year for us in terms of things getting initiated, things starting, new beginnings, things ending. They always revolve around the cycles of the eclipses, especially the first eclipse of the year. That is going to be like a billboard from the universe that says, hey, yo, this is going to be happening and this has to change in your life this year. Let's make it happen. Like the universe makes it very, very well known. Now, the first eclipse that we have is this week, January 6th, okay? And man, I tell you what, if you're a Capricorn that has your birthday the day before or after this eclipse, what a pivotal year this is going to be for you for change, okay? If your birthday lands on the time of an eclipse, woo, especially because this eclipse happens in Capricorn. This is rare. We are in a new eclipse cycle that hasn't happened for quite some time. It was 2009 the last time we had Cancer Capricorn eclipses. Most of the time it's in Leo and Aquarius. So this is a very, very strong year for shift and change in home and career for a lot of people. The foundations that are under us. Theme of the year, right, is regrounding ourselves after the major changes that have happened in the past few years. But for you, back to those eclipses and relationships. So that's where the eclipses are triggering in the Capricorn chart, is in the house, the 7th house of marriage and partnerships. Now, this is also client-therapist relationships, doctor-patient relationships, close one-on-one friendships, those one-on-one relationships. This isn't family. This isn't really, you know, in that category. This is where you have one person and another person that are in a connection with one another, just the two of you. Especially marriage falls in this. To have eclipses happening in here, January 6th, July 17th, and then again on December 26th, this is a major shift and push for new energy to happen in those areas. Moving out the old, bringing in the new. So you may be feeling pushed to let go of a relationship, especially if it's something that has been triggered since the beginning part, especially the February eclipse cycle of 2017. If that was something that said, maybe this relationship has outlived its, I don't want to say usefulness. That sounds really rude. Usefulness for you. That's true. And it's not fitting to who you are now. It may have worked 10 years ago, but it didn't work now. You know, this is a time that eclipse is pushing us to let it go. And here it comes back again. Pay attention to those time frames, January 6th, July 17th, December 26th, because they are going to tell you exactly what needs to be done. And especially July 3rd, okay, because that's going to be the first part of the eclipse cycle in July. That could very well be when the new relationship comes through. I'm talking new relationships, but there's also new beginnings for old relationships, regeneration of old relationships. That can also help as well. So the thing is, though, Capricorn, my Capricorn friends, being ruled by that Saturn of yours, you love having a plan. Always have to have things planned out. Either you're the Capricorn that does or you don't. There's no gray area. But 9 times out of 10, most of those Capricorns want to have a plan and have it organized. This is a year where the universe says, hey, yo, you've already planned this for a couple of years. You know what you need to do. And at these eclipses, it may unexpectedly throw things at you where you need to take a leap of faith. You have to trust your intuition that's been telling you what you need to do. Because as you do, it's going to transform these relationships either for the better, or it's going to get you someone that's better, that fits you who you are now. That's a wonderful energy to have because you haven't had eclipses in your relationship house since 2009. There's some major clean sweeping going on up in there. So let's move on to career, because career is so vital and important for our Capricorn friends. I love to clap. Yeah. So career is so huge. You rule the 10th house in astrology, and that is all about our soul's purpose, career that we're here to do. It's also about our reputation. These things are very important to you. So what we have happening in your career house is that planet Mars, okay, that's starting to do a little bit of triggering in that family part at the beginning part of the year. Towards the end of 2019, end of September going into November, Mars is moving its 2-year cycle up into that career house. So it's triggered new things to happen in the family down here. Now up here, it's going to be triggering new energy to happen in career. Not only is that going to happen, but Mars comes through, and that is the warrior, and it gives us confidence. So it's going to give you the confidence to stand up and say, you know what? I've been working my tail off for the past 2 years. I deserve a raise. You'll have the confidence to do that. Maybe it's the confidence to walk away, right? Maybe that's the case too. That will happen in that time frame as well, September 23rd through November 19th. Now, Uranus moving into Taurus is huge for all of us. Uranus is the planet that brings unexpected events to happen. That's the one that's going to be bringing you that unexpected money news on March 21st. Uranus moves real slow. Okay, that dude is way, way, way out from the from the sun, and as a result, its solar revolutions take a long time. It takes us 365, right, to get around the sun. But Uranus, because it's so far out there, it moves slower. It takes 82 years to go around the course of the sun. So it moving into a new sign has a major impact on all of us. It stays in a sign for 7 to 8 years. So when it moves into a new one, it makes a big shift for us. Now it's moving into Taurus, which is an earth sign, the most practical and grounded of all the earth signs as well, too, and it has a lot to do with finances. So it triggers a lot for all of us over the course of the next several years to really shake things up and bring financial freedom and independence for us, because that's what Uranus is all about, freeing us from chains that hold us back. So that's a good thing. And it's also going to bring some wonderful technological advances in the world of health and technology and finances in general. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me by the end of this if there's no more paper money, honestly, because it's such a unique transit that's never happened. But in your specific chart here, my Capricorn friends, Uranus is going to be doing its number on your 5th house for the next 7 years. That is the house of all things that bring you joy and happiness. You work so dang hard, you put so much energy in, that sometimes you forget to have that fun. So I think Uranus coming to your house of fun is a wonderful thing, because it's going to bring you unexpected opportunities to just let loose, have a little bit more fun. You need to, right? This can bring unexpected things for your children too, because the 5th house rules children as well. So maybe where, Jimmy wanted to be a doctor, all of a sudden now he wants to be a musician or something. There's many variables that can fall into that as well. But this is also a time, the 5th house rules are, like our self-confidence, like a lot of actors and such are Leos. Leo rules the 5th house because they have the confidence to go up on stage and say, this is me, this is my art, and this is how I do it, and I don't care. I have that confidence to do that. The 5th house does that for all of us. So having Uranus moving through there, it's going to push you outside of your comfort zone to really let those hidden talents shine through. This is a great time to let that happen over the next several years. So you'll see your talents evolve and develop. And then 5th house also deals with romance and love life. So to have the planet of unexpected things coming through there, yeah. If you're not in a relationship, expect somebody to drop out of the blue. I tell you what, especially in these first parts, when it goes into a sign and when it leaves a sign is when it's the strongest. So keep an eye out for that this year. But if it's something where you're in a committed relationship and you want to regenerate that romance in there, having Uranus coming through is the exact electric shock you need to get that puppy back to life. Just saying. So that's a wonderful thing. Now another thing we have is the Mercury retrogrades. Mercury is a planet of the mind and thought, and it's an interesting thing because it always retrogrades 4 times a year. For some reason in 2019 it's only 3 times, and each retrograde is in a water sign, which I think is really interesting. It's really calling on us to feel, because water signs are about feeling, emotion, relationship, and our intuition and spiritual connection. All of those things that we feel from the inside and don't feel tangibly or think logically. Mercury retrograding in those is asking us to pull on those things. What's your heart say? What's your intuition say? What's this third eye telling you? What's it seeing? What dreams are you having? These retrograde periods are going to be working very much so and having you reassess how well you trust your intuition and work with your intuition and how honest you are with yourself about the vibes that you get, okay? This is going to be happening in one of your houses of communication this year. So there's a bit of a reset going on, asking you to get honest with yourself, especially with the friends that you surround yourself with. Are these people good? Should I be around these people anymore? That kind of thing is going to be coming to the surface. Not only friends, but the networks and organizations that you are involved with. Big stuff. Your intuition is going to be talking to you big time. Because once you move from that, new people can come in that are more fitting for where you're at in your cycle in your life now. Mercury retrograde periods are March 5th to March 28th. Again, July 7th to July 31st. And then again, October 31st, hey, Halloween, to November 20th. All right, so look at those time frames. Pay attention to what things come up, what reoccurring thoughts happen, because that's what the retrogrades do, is they have us reassess and readjust moving forward. Those are the big highlights. Now what we're going to do is move on to specific birthdays and big parts that are happening for these. Now if your birthday's not in here, that don't mean that nothing's going to happen. All these things are still very vital for you. And another thing to keep in mind too, this is just a general overall view of Capricorn sun sign in particular. Each of us have a specific birth chart based off of our time and date and place of birth. If you want to dial into your specific chart more and what this year has in store specifically for you, please contact me for a reading. I have a link below. I do my $77 year special. It's like the only special I do during the year because I love to help people start out the new year knowing what to anticipate and what energies are working with them specifically. Now, but overall in general, let's be looking at this here. If your birthday falls between January 5th and 9th, Neptune, that planet of spirituality, is really going to be working with you this year. This is a year of spiritual awakening and really trusting those intuitive vibes that we were just talking about, the Mercury retrogrades are stirring up in you. Pay attention to your dreams. You have a new spiritual network that's around you, helping you to move into this next phase of your life, all right? Specifically for this time in your life. They're there. Try to listen to your dreams, listen to your intuition. They are not going to let you astray. Definitely a year of surrendering old parts of the self. Okay, huge, huge. And that's okay to release. It's okay. Now, if now we got another one too. January 11th to the 14th, if your birthday falls in that time frame, Pluto out there, the planet of transformation, is working with your sun as well. This is a year of major transformation. Anytime Pluto gets involved, big transformations happen. This may be a year where power struggles and confrontations happen consistently with people. Pay attention to those because what it's doing is trying to help you learn what needs to be let go of. Maybe it's an old belief, an old communication, that person, that relationship, that job, wherever you're feeling that there is like the battle of wills happening. Listen to what's happening because you are going to be gaining new insights on to who and what controls you and what you need to do to change that. Because ultimately you're the master of your path, aren't you? Now, Uranus, that planet of unexpected things, is going to be working with our Capricorn friends that have a birthday from January 19th to the 20th. That's like a one-day period. So obviously there is some energy of unexpected things happening for you if your birthday falls on those days. A lot of it comes from freedom, wanting to free yourself from the chains that hold you back and whatever it is, okay? There's just going to be this push. The inner rebel comes out. And maybe that's okay, right? Because usually you're so composed and got everything all figured out and such. There's going to be a push to get you to do some new things. So that is what we have for Capricorn this year. As I said before, if you want to dial into your specific chart, please contact me below. Beyond that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every week about what's happening in the skies and how it's affecting us all. Facebook. Follow me there as well. Get some insights and astrological tidbits throughout the week as well. But I thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful and prosperous 2019. Thank you.